Hey, what's happening everyone? I am SirJames from Gamerfuzion.com, and in today's video I'm here to provide you guys a product review for the Hermes Lite mechanical gaming keyboard plus the Irabasi optical gaming mouse. Now this product was sent to me courtesy of GAMDIAS, who are the company behind this particular product. So I do want to inform you that this is not a paid advertisement at all. They did send me the product free of charge, which will allow me to of course not only test out the product, but of course to give you guys my overall honest opinion on these products and let you know if it's worth it or not. So first off, let's go ahead and remove the box out of the way, and we are presented with the items in front of you. So what we're going to go ahead and do is that I'm going to go ahead and talk about the keyboard first, then I'm going to go ahead and talk about the mouse. Afterwards, we will be taking a look at the overall software, so that way you know what features that you would have access to upon getting this particular product. So of course, once again, we're going to go ahead and start with a keyboard. Starting off with the cable that we have here, this is just a standard cable. It's not braided at all, and it's a silver plated at the end, so therefore no gold tip. And of course, over here you also have the GAMDIAS logo with a little bit of a nice touch. And overall, I just kind of like this USB dongle. It has just a simple design, but yet just slightly different. I kind of like that. It has a little bit more of a grippier feel to it. As for the keyboard itself, overall in terms of weight to this, it's actually a little bit of a hefty keyboard, so do keep that in mind. If you're looking for something a little bit lighter, this may not be it, but again, definitely has a hefty build, pretty much similar to the Razer Chroma keyboard that I've been using the majority of the time. As other features, of course, with the keyboard, this does have a light up feature option, so let me go ahead and plug this into my portable charger here. Now, as for the light up feature, you're only going to be getting one color option, which will be the color option in red that you have in front of you. And of course, you're also able to change up some of the light up features within the program, which we'll be taking a look at in just a couple of minutes. And of course, on top of that, you also have about 5 different brightness settings. And of course, you can have it completely off. And of course, some different show options as well. If you flip it on over in the back here, you actually do have some cable management options, which is always nice to have. So in this kind of situation here, if your, let's say, PC was located on the left hand side, then of course you may want to navigate the cables to go ahead and kind of line that up. And of course pop in on the left hand side. Simple as that. Or maybe your PC setup was on the right hand side, then you could just manage the cable to come out on the right side. Or if you just wanted in front of you to kind of go for a different setup, then again, you could just get the cable and set up in front if you want a little bit more of a length to it. Easy as that. And of course, you also have your legs back here, which only have one adjustment with rubberized padding. And you have plenty of rubberized padding all the way in the front here with these nubs as well. So that way, if you have it on a surface, it's not really going to be moving too much. Now flipping on over back on the front here, as I stated, this is a mechanical keyboard. However, this is a little bit different compared to most mechanical keyboards that you may have used. When you think of mechanical keyboards, you think of the loud clicky sounds, kind of like stuff that you've seen in Razer or other third-party accessories. Well, this particular mechanical keyboard doesn't have that loud clicky sound. So when I type here, again, you don't hear that clicky sound. You just basically hear what a standard keyboard would sound like, but it's still a mechanical keyboard. You still are getting that tactile response. However, it's just, again, it's more quiet. It throws you off a bit. If you've been using loud mechanical keyboards and you go into using something like this, it will throw you off. It threw me off for a good 5 to 15 minutes, give or take, until I was able to adjust to using this one, because for whatever reason, I kept making several mistakes when I was typing up stuff, due to the fact that, again, I didn't seem to get that tactile feedback. You know, usually when I hear it click, I feel like, okay, I did press that key, so therefore I can move on to the next one that I want to go ahead and press. Here, again, it kind of throws you off a bit, but once you get used to it, it actually works out quite well. And oftentimes when I'm chatting with my friends late at night, since I have my microphone that's normally close to me, I end up using this keyboard and they hear a dramatic difference, because before they'll complain because they'll know when I'm typing, but now when I'm using this one, they don't know, because again, it's much more of a quieter keyboard, and I really like that. So next up, I want to go ahead and talk about the mouse, but overall, again, the build quality is great, the keys were good, and of course, it's super responsive. Next up, of course, is the mouse itself. Now, of course, just like the keyboard, this has a standard cable with a silver plated at the very end here, of course, with the company logo right there. Easy to see. and of course just the USB logo and the other side. So again, here is the mouse. This mouse isn't really too different from an ordinary mouse. Nothing too fancy here. This does have up to a 4000 DPI settings, so do keep that in mind. And of course you can always adjust that right here. There's actually a DPI button right here. And of course you can also adjust that going into the program itself. And of course you also have a couple buttons right here on the side to go page forward or page back. You have your left and right clicks. You have your mouse wheel, which does not have any clicking options to the left and right. However, you can press it down in the center for another option, and that's pretty much about it. Overall, the mouse is extremely comfortable. It's a little bit more of a smaller mouse, do keep that in mind, even though I do have small hands, but this one feels a little bit smaller compared to most mouses that I use today. But again, that's pretty much about it. Nothing too fancy about that. However, there is a light up feature right here in the center, which I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that right now. And this one has more of an orange glow compared to the keyboard. Or orangish yellow, if you will. So now that we got the chance to check out the products, let's go ahead and check out the software. Alright, so now that we had the chance to kind of check out the actual product in person, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the initial software. You actually get the software by going onto their official website, downloading it. However, do keep in mind that after you install the software and of course plug in the items, you may have to restart your computer because there's going to be like a minor update which will require you to restart if you so choose to do so. Of course, what's nice about this is that if you look on the very bottom right here where it says Hera, you will notice that the keyboard is lit up except for the mouse, because the mouse isn't part of the main lineup, it's just bundled with the keyboard. But you could just click here to go to the main page that you want to. However, all these other items here, except for the last one, which actually is recently new, I'm kind of curious about that, is that you could actually go and hover over these. As you can see already, it does have fantastic artwork because their products are based or named after gods, I should say. And when you hover over them, you could actually get a little bit more detailed information. The one in which I'll be reviewing next week is Zeus's laser gaming mouses, so that is one to look forward to. Of course, you also have your keyboard. This is the one that we're currently reviewing. As you can see here, there's an image right here which probably indicates as to why this is more of a quieter mechanical keyboard. But again, you could always click on the page and it'll take you directly to the site. That way you can see what kind of information that you may want to look up. Anyways, here we are. We're here to focus on the keyboard right here. Simple as that. Register it just fine. You will notice that over here on the right hand side we have our different profiles. Up to 6 can be made, and you can program them in any kind of way. So first off, of course, you have your key assignments that you can kind of fiddle around with and kind of mess with. You also have micromanage, so a little bit more detailed stuff here, recording options. You also have this option here, which will basically be the light up feature of the keyboard. And of course, you could also change up the timers as well. So you could choose to have the backlight completely off. You could have it just dim, about the mediumish range, bright, or this one is this option right here is kind of a fade effect right here. So meaning that the lights will come on and then fade out, fade back in, fade back out, kind of like what you're seeing right here on screen. And you could choose how often that happens. So if you want it to happen more often, you could select 4 seconds, or you want it to happen every so often, then you could select 8 seconds to have that more breathe effect, which again, I really like that. Next up, in terms of other features, we have an assign sounds and timer. What's nice about this is that if you happen to be like one of those YouTubers who usually sets up like a recording session, saying that maybe you want to record for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, or maybe you want to set up a reminder, you can set up something like this here, and by the time that the timer reaches 0, you're going to have an on-screen timer that will register with some different alarm options as well. So always nifty to have stuff like that. You also have a sound file edit, so you could actually record audio onto the device, but do keep in mind that you need to have a microphone of some kind. In this case, I am using my Blue Yeti. And then basically every time you record audio, it will be placed on here. And of course, you can also set up alarms as well. This is your timer setting, so you can create different folders and kind of change it up how you want it to in terms of when the alarm goes off. And of course, you also have your update support, so you can make sure your software is completely up to date. And of course, if you always need to look up information, you could always actually click right here for more support. Or you can go to their online page as well if you want a little bit more of a direct contact. But again, it's very simple as that. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Overall, in the end, after my use of trying out this keyboard for a good week and a half, overall it's a pretty solid keyboard. Again, I was thrown off a little bit when using this for the first time, because someone who's using a mechanical keyboard, jumping into something like this one, again, definitely threw me off a little bit. But once I was adjusted to it, it did help a lot, especially when I'm playing online with my friends late at night, and that way I could look up information without disturbing them or without having to mute my mic all the time. So useful things like that. I'm glad with the addition of the mouse, again, even though it's just a simple basic mouse, but the mouse is always a nice introduction, because some people are looking into building a computer, so therefore they may want a keyboard and mouse, or they may want to find something that's a little bit more of a combo. Do keep in mind though that this item isn't really on the cheap edge. It's actually going anywhere between $70 or $80, so whether or not that's worth the price is totally up to you, but my honest opinion, it's definitely a really good solid product. But overall, in the end, I'm actually going to be giving this a 5 out of 5. But if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time.